Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interwebs. This is ReNDoG coming at you in another episode of Minecraft Survival from the Hermitcraft server. There's a freaking Ghast over here interrupting my introduction. Ghast, hi, what's happening? Say hello to my little friend. What the jazz? That arrow went straight through him, man. Geez, that is one hardcore Ghast. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world right now. I woke up at the crack of dawn this morning, literally 6 a.m. without an alarm clock. I was up and at it. And that's because last night, and this is going to sound super nerdy, but last night I had a pretty serious dream about the Hermitron project. I dreamt that it was a TV show. You know, like the Pokemon TV show? I dreamt that there was a Hermitron TV show on, and I was watching it and thinking how freaking awesome it was. So this morning I woke up super early and super inspired. I'm in a Minecraft mood today, baby. Like nobody's business, man. And I've been in the nether all morning long collecting quartz. Take a look at this. I have an entire inventory full of quartz. I have a shulker box full of quartz too. And that is because we're going to be working on the Hermitron project today. Not the Hermitron project itself, but one of the new sections of the Hermitron halls, and that is the tutorial hall. Spent a lot of time this weekend working on the tutorial hall, and I cannot wait to show you the progress I've made. The place is looking amazing. Now, I think the reason why I'm so pumped to get going on Hermitron, guys, is because Escal85 has made some serious progress on our Hermitron booster box packing machine. Oh baby, you guys are going to be blown away by what Iskal has done for us. I'm going to show you that in a moment. So we are literally just a few steps away now from starting the Hermitron game on the Hermitcraft server, placing down the very first booster boxes around the server so that the Hermits can go hunting. Now, I'm trying to find my way out of here. I kind of remember where to go, but I'm a little bit lost at the moment. I set down some torches to direct me, but I seem to have, well, lost them, it seems. I think I gotta go in this direction, though. Anyway, so, super pumped. Got loads of quartz in my belly right now, and ready to lay down some blocks at the Hermitron project. For the last few episodes, we've been working quite hard on the Mobilisa, and I thought we'd take a little bit of a break today, and we'd get cracking on one of our other big projects, and baby, cannot wait to actually get going. But firstly, I need to find my way out of this place. A little bit lost at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on today, but for some reason, I am feeling really, really good. It might be the multiple cups of coffee I've had so far, but usually I wake up quite grumpy on a Monday morning, but today I've woken up with the inspirational juices pumping through the ReNDoG veins like nobody's business. And I think it's because my brain is about ready to kick back into beast mode, baby. Been taking it a little bit easy at the start of 2017 after what was a pretty intense and amazing year last year. And I've spent the last couple of weeks sort of thinking about and planning for what I want to make the best year of my life in 2017. And I think I'm about ready to do it, man. I think that today is the start of Beast Mode ReNDoG. We're going to get back into more streaming. We're going to get back into more videos coming out. We're going to get back into living this amazing life and making 2017 the best year ever. It's going to be awesome. By the way, speaking about awesome, look at our new nether portal in the blue residential district. Looks amazing, right? Absolutely love it, man. Used to be this janky ass portal over here, and now it's a part of the environment. Looks absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, it's been a bit of a slow year so far. I know. You guys have been wanting more videos, and ReNDoG's been taking it a little bit easy. But thank you all, by the way, for all the amazing support that you've been giving me so far this year. It has been incredible. The amount of comments, the amount of likes, you guys getting a hold of me on Twitter and on dogcraft.net and on Facebook. It's been so freaking awesome. Thank you guys, as always, for supporting me. And you guys are absolutely amazing, man. And remember, if you want to help me out, the best way to do that is to like the videos that you like and to comment on the videos too, wherever you like them. Helps me keep inspired and helps YouTube know that you guys are enjoying the videos that we are putting out. And that goes for any YouTuber out there that you enjoy. You can show your love and show your appreciation for their content by clicking that like button or by commenting on their videos. Anyway, here we are back in the lush Mesa Biome, completely stacked up with nether quartz, and I am ready to start working on the tutorial tutorial haul of the Hermitron halls. But before we get to that, guys, I want to show you something pretty amazing. Escal85, oh my goodness, a genius at work. Look at what he has been up to over here. I can't really explain what's been cracking around here, but what I can show you is a ridiculous amount of awesome redstone. Do I have any more ender pearls on myself? I don't think so. All right, well, let's just drop down here and have a look at what's going on down here. It's pretty unbelievable. Don't ask me what is happening. I can't explain all of this redstone, all of this genius. No idea what is going on. All I know is that this machine is going to automatically pack Hermitron booster boxes for us, and it is going to be absolutely amazing when it is finished. If you guys want to see how Escal put this together, I'm going to put a link in the description box to the first video where he started working on the project, and you guys can catch up with all the redstone stuff, because I'm not going to be able to explain it. But essentially what we've got over here is an automatic mode where we will be able to basically fill like hundreds of shulker boxes with Hermitrons automatically, or we can do one shulker box at a time using the printer over here if we want to make some sort of custom shulker boxes or Hermitron booster packs. But we're going to be looking into this in a little bit more detail in the next few episodes this week. Escal still has a little bit of work to do around here, so as soon as that's ready to go, man, we are going to be printing our booster packs and start distributing them across the Hermitcraft server. And we are going to be kicking off the Hermitron project once and for all. It's going to be epic. Are you guys ready to witness some awesomeness? I hope so, because I've been working my butthole off this weekend on one of the most important parts of the Hermitron project, and that is the part known as the tutorial hall for this minigame that we are creating. After speaking to quite a few hermits and reading a lot of comments, it's pretty clear to me that I haven't really been able to explain how the game of Hermitron works, and I think the best way to do this is going to be to actually make some sort of a tutorial experience so that all of the hermits that want to play Hermitron and all of you guys out there who are watching will understand exactly how it works. So check it out. I've been working my butt off on creating some sort of a foundation for a tutorial experience. The idea being that a new hermit or somebody new to Hermitron can come down here, and before entering the Hermitron halls, which is over here, you can actually go through some sort of a tutorial section that'll teach you exactly how Hermitron works. Now take a look at the beauty of this place. Looking amazing, right? Obviously a ridiculous amount of quartz needed, which is why I've been doing all of this quartz grinding, but I think that the way that it looks is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I got some really awesome plans for the center of this area too, which is going to be coming up in the next few episodes. But take a look at this. I'm going to be creating these sort of tutorial chambers over here, right? And in each of these chambers, I want to explain a different part of the game. So over here, we're going to be giving an introduction to what Hermitron is all about. Over here, we'll be explaining what a Hermitron booster pack is. Over here, we'll be talking about the tribes, and maybe we'll talk a bit more of the tribes in this one too. Here, we'll be talking about your collection, and over here, we'll be talking about how to win Hermitron at the end of Season 4. I don't know if that is exactly how I want the tutorial hall to go, but this is the sort of start of it to get my brain ticking over. The first thing that I want to do, though, is finish off this facade, to finish off all of these passageways and stuff, and that's what we're going to be doing together today. I think I'm going to probably do most of this work off camera because it's quite a lot of grinding to do, and I don't really want to spend a lot of episodes on this. I just want to sort of get it done off camera. So what I thought we would do today, guys, is work a little bit on this, place some blocks down together, and I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story. I want to tell you guys a story of a very interesting and kind of embarrassing experience that I had a little bit earlier in my life, about 7 years ago or so, when I used to play Magic the Gathering, not at a professional level, but close to a professional level. And of course, Magic the Gathering is the game that has inspired the Hermitron project, and it's a pretty important part of why this project came to be, because without Magic the Gathering, I don't think I would have ever conceptualized this project. And anyway, I have a pretty funny story that I want to tell you about one of my experiences going to play at a major Magic the Gathering tournament in Europe about 7 years ago or so. My name is ReNDoG, and I've been playing Magic since I was 14 years old. There, I said it. Go ahead and judge me. Call me a nerd all you want. But nothing will change the fact that Magic the Gathering has been a huge part of my life. In fact, it's a game that I've played for a good portion of my entire life, and it's a game that I think I will play for the rest of my life. I'm going to be an 80-year-old man one day, sitting on my porch, looking through my magic cards and getting all excited about rares and mythics and getting all thinking about decks and metagames and how to defeat my opponents with the most broken strategies ever. Oh man, I get so excited when I think about Magic. And for those of you guys who know about Magic, well, and those of you guys who play it as much as I do, you will know that you never truly quit playing Magic. You only take a break from it. And I've taken many breaks from Magic over the years, but recently I've had a resurgence. Ever since I moved out here to start the Real Life Hermit project, I've had a lot of time to sort of get back into one of my favorite hobbies in the world, if not my favorite hobby in the world. And I've been sorting out my Magic card collection, playing loads of Magic with Iskall, and sort of getting back into the metagame and following what's going on in the Magic world, getting excited about new cards and all of that sweet jazz, man. Iskall bought me an amazing Christmas present, by the way. He bought me a booster box of Modern Masters, which is a really awesome set of Magic cards, and we opened the booster box together on Skype, and it was a really awesome day, man. I felt like I was 12 years old again, cranking open those cards, and I got some amazing cards too that got me super excited. Now, Magic the Gathering, of course, is the game that spawned the idea for the Hermitron project, because this is going to be a collectible game on the Hermitcraft server, very much like Magic. And the Hermits are going to be collecting things called Hermitrons instead of Magic cards. And man, it's one of the reasons I'm so excited about this project, because it's been inspired by one of my lifelong passions. And I want to do an absolutely amazing job. Now, I started playing Magic when I was super young. I was 13 or 14 years old, and I actually got introduced to the game by my brother from the same frickin' mama, who played Magic with his friend, and his friend came to stay with us one Christmas holiday and brought all of his Magic cards with him. And I remember sort of hanging out playing some, I think I was playing some Sega Mega Drive or something, and I saw my brother and his friend playing this game, and I was immediately intrigued, because my brother was saying stuff like, "I now summon a dragon, and I'm going to kill you with my dragon." And he was getting super excited about that. And the inner nerd in the child ReNDoG suddenly kicked in. And I wanted to know everything that there was about this awesome game called Magic. And we spent that entire holiday basically playing Magic many hours every single day, trying to beat each other, find different strategies. And as soon as I got back from holiday, I started really getting into Magic and buying my own cards and building my own decks, going to tournaments and all that sort of jazz. I was hooked, hook, line, and frickin' sinker, baby. Now, in South Africa, back in those days, Magic was kind of like a very specialist hobby that you could play. There weren't many stores in the country that sold Magic cards, and I lived in the capital city called Johannesburg, and in Johannesburg there was only like 2 shops that sold Magic cards, that sold Magic boosters, and there was just a handful of people that actually played the game. That's of course because South Africa is at the end of the frickin' world, and you know, Magic cards, or Magic as a game at that point wasn't really massive, and cards took a little bit longer to get out there, and you know, the internet wasn't as big as it is now, so strategies and metagame and pros and all of that stuff wasn't really, you know, a thing just yet when I was playing out there. But I loved the game so much that for the majority of my teen years, whenever I got back from school or back from university, I used to spend the majority of my holidays hanging out with my Magic friends in Johannesburg, going to tournaments, going to friends' houses to play Magic, and basically just played Magic for the entire holiday. Spent all of my pocket money on Magic. You know, even when I was a little bit older and I started waitering in a restaurant, I would earn my money from the restaurant, and then I would just spend it all on freaking Magic cards right away. I was just completely obsessed with the game. When I moved to Europe a few years later, when I was a bit older, the world of Magic opened up to me like I could never have imagined. By the time I moved to England, Magic was a very established game. There was a professional scene. There were professional Magic players that were making a living from the game. And of course, suddenly, living in London, which is the city that I moved to, I suddenly had access to tournaments every single week, basically, all over Europe. And I spent the first sort of 4 years of my life in London playing Magic very seriously. And I played Magic 3 or 4 times a week at least. I mean, all I did was work, earn money, and play Magic. That's all I did. Anyway, about 3 or 4 months ago, I was reading an article on one of the Magic the Gathering websites, and I saw the face of somebody that I used to play Magic with many, many years ago. Let me just try and work out exactly how I did this over here. Try and remember the configuration of this. I'm going to try and like work on the path first, I think. Work on the path and the walls, and then we can work on the chambers. Man, this place is looking sweet, isn't it? I love it. Anyway, I was reading an article on a Magic website, and I saw a very familiar face. And this was a face of a guy that I used to play Magic with when I was playing very seriously about 5 or 6 years ago. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold on, sorry, let me just count this out so that I know what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's the center. Anyway, this was the face of somebody that I had played Magic with at the Magic Club in London for many years. And this was a guy who I had a very interesting Magic tournament experience with once upon a time. And I want to tell you a bit of a story about this particular fellow. I read this article and I saw his face there, and I was so freaking astounded to see that this particular person had gone pro. And I looked up, I looked more into his career, into his Magic career, and I've discovered that he is one of the best players in the world right now, which is unbelievable. When I first met him, this chap couldn't speak a word of English. He was from China, and he was studying in London, and he was as obsessed with Magic as I was. And he was an awesome, awesome dude. But of course, his English was very, very bad. And the way that we used to communicate was through his mobile phone. So he would literally talk into his mobile phone, and then it would be translated into English. That's how we used to talk to each other. And I would do the same back to him. Anyway, it came to pass that one day we all decided at my Magic Club that we were going to go to the World Championships in Vienna in Austria. And when I first got to London, like I was saying a little bit earlier, the world of Magic suddenly opened up to me. I suddenly realized that I didn't have to play Magic in a tiny little store in South Africa anymore. In South Africa, there was only one place in Johannesburg that you could play Magic, and that's where I played. But when I got to Europe, I suddenly realized that all over the continent, there were massive Magic tournaments happening every single week. And when I say massive, guys, for those of you guys who don't know much about Magic, I mean massive. At your average Magic the Gathering Grand Prix, which is what it's called, which is one of the biggest tournament formats in the game, you have between 2,000 to 5,000 players, depending on where you're playing in the world. And the very first time I went to a GP, I think it was in Disneyland in Paris, I could not believe my eyes. I couldn't believe how many nerds there were that played this game, and how many nerds would come out to these GPs from all over Europe to compete with each other. And it was an absolutely amazing freaking time. I loved my time playing Magic semi-professionally, I suppose, and traveling all over Europe to play these tournaments. And in my first couple of years after moving to London, I probably went to, I don't know, at least 12 different European Grand Prix every single year. I mean, I was serious, guys. I was taking that jazz serious, baby. And I was rocking it, man. I was doing pretty well. I think the best that I ever did was I got to top 64 in one Grand Prix, which doesn't sound very good, but top 64 out of like 3,000. Come on now. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. I also managed to beat one of the professional players at the time at that Grand Prix, a professional player known as Gabriel Nassif. And for all of my friends that play Magic with me, that's a story that I've told way too many times in my life. That's the one that I bust out, whenever we're talking about our favorite memories in Magic. I'm like, yep, I beat Gabriel Nassif once. I mean, granted, I beat him from sheer luck because he had to mulligan a bunch of times. In Magic, if your opening hand doesn't look good, you can draw a new hand -1 card. And sometimes you get really unlucky in Magic and you don't draw the cards that you need to win. And in that particular match, Gabriel didn't draw the cards that he needed, and he got wrecked by the noob that is ReNDoG. But man, I will forever to this day claim that victory, because I think at the time he was number 2 in the world, and man, did I feel good beating Gabriel at that tournament. Anyway, we used to play a ton of Magic, and there was a group of us that used to travel to these Grand Prix. And at the Magic Club in London where I used to play, this fellow from China used to come and play with us too. And because he couldn't really speak English that well, it's difficult to like make friends with people that don't speak your language and stuff. And it's difficult to sort of, build a sort of rapport and relationship with them. I tried my absolute best, of course, to communicate with him. And I slowly but surely built up a friendship with him. And one day we were at the Magic Club. It was like F&M, like Friday Night Magic or something like that. And I asked him the question on the phone. I wanted to find out about Magic. Like, where did he start playing Magic? Why did he play Magic? What was, where did he start? Like, I wanted to know his history. Why did he start playing this game? And he told me that, he had learned from his friends at school in China and in Hong Kong where he lived. And he also told me that it was his ambition to become one of the best Magic players in the world. And at the time, I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's all of our ambition, right? We all want to be as good as we can, and we all want to do our best. Well, little did I know that dream for him would actually come true, as I saw in an article a few weeks ago. Anyway, the time was approaching for our group to head over to Austria to go play in Magic Worlds in Vienna. And we were talking about it at the Magic table on F&M. Freaking Ghost Blocks, get out of here. Man, I hate Ghost Blocks. And we were talking about it, and I think that this guy, could hear what we were talking about. And he came over to me with his phone, and he asked me the question, are you going to Vienna? Are you going to go to Worlds? And I said, yes, we're going to go to Worlds. It's going to be sweet. Some of my teammates had qualified to play for the UK, and they were going to play in the team matches, and I was going to go play in some of the sealed events and the constructed events there. And he said to me, I want to come. I want to come and play. And, I didn't really think about it at the time. But what I realized is that he really wanted to go, but of course he kind of needed a guide, I suppose. He needed somebody to help him through, the airports and, basically getting to and from the tournaments and having somebody who could speak English that could help him out. And, that day I decided, you know what? Me and him, we're going to go to Vienna together. And I said to him, of course, man, let's organize this together. You can stay with me. We'll stay in a hotel and you can hang out with me over the weekend and we'll play some Magic and it's going to be sweet. And he was so freaking excited, man. He was so pumped. I'll never forget his face because I think at that moment, he saw his opportunity. This was his opportunity to start showing the world what he was made of and to take his Magic game to the next level. And he had a level of ambition that I never really had playing Magic. In his eyes, he wanted to be the best. In my eyes, I wanted to do well, but I just wanted to play Magic. I just wanted to have some fun and play the game. But I think he wanted to go for a different reason, and I gave him that opportunity by going with them. We booked our flights, we booked our hotel, and there I set off with this guy from Hong Kong that I couldn't speak with other than through a phone. And we went to Vienna to the World Championships of Magic. We had an amazing time. We stayed in the hotel, at night, and then we would wake up super early and head to the venue and spend the entire day there playing. And we played in one of the side tournaments there because we hadn't qualified to play in the team games. And he did exceptionally well. I mean, he just won tournament after tournament. At Worlds and at GPs, they have like these side tournaments that you can play, right, if you're not in the main event. And this guy was just killing it, man. He was just winning over and over and over again. And he was doing so well, and he had such an amazing time. I could see it in his face. And so the tournament ended, the doors to the venue closed, and this guy and I set out to find a restaurant to eat at, and I wanted to treat him to a really, really good meal. I found a really amazing pizza restaurant, an Italian joint in Vienna, and we went in there and we sat down and we started to eat. And man, it was one of the weirdest experiences that I think I've ever had in my whole life, because for the first time, having come from a very isolated country called South Africa, in South Africa, we don't have a lot of interaction with people from other parts of the world. South Africa is all the way at the tip of the African continent. It's kind of hidden away from the world. And, all we really know about is other South Africans and what's happening in South Africa. And even when I moved to London, for my first few years in London, I was spending most of my time with other South Africans too. So my sort of global worldly experience, should we say, was very, very limited. And for the very first time in my life, that night when I was eating out with my Magic playing friend from Hong Kong, I suddenly realized that this world is massive. And this world is filled with so many different people, so many different cultures, so many different ideals. And it's freaking incredible. Our food came to the table, and I was super excited. We got some really posh pizzas. They looked absolutely amazing. And, I said to him, let me order. I want to show you, some really cool food from Italy, I guess. Even though we were in Vienna, I wanted to sort of show off what Europe could do food-wise. And I ordered these really awesome pizzas, and man, they looked absolutely delicious, and they absolutely were delicious. Oh, baby. Cheesy, and they were absolutely amazing. I don't know how many of you guys have ever had like proper Italian pizzas, but man, when a pizza is done correctly, like in a fire oven, and oh man, it is just absolutely amazing. Anyway, the pizzas arrived, and man, we were so freaking hungry. We'd had a couple of beers too, so we were starving, ready to start munching. And man, I have never seen anybody eat and enjoy a pizza as much as he did that night. He was smacking his lips, chewing like nobody's business, slurping on his beer, making complimentary noises like while he was chewing so loudly. And as I come from a more Western British culture, of course, we are, quiet, and we eat with our mouths closed, and we have knives and forks, and everything's really formal and kind of boring. This guy was truly enjoying his food, and he was showing it, man. He was making as much noise as I've ever heard anybody make when they are eating, and he was absolutely loving it. Of course, for me, it was kind of weird, man. I was looking around the restaurant, and I was super embarrassed. I thought people were looking at us and judging us, and man, I felt so uncomfortable throughout the entire meal because of the noises that this guy was making, and I couldn't understand what was going on. The ReNDoG brain just couldn't compute. I was so ignorant as to what was actually happening in front of me that I didn't really know what to do. Anyway, got through the meal eventually. I was red in the face for the entire time that we were eating there, and we left the restaurant, and he thanked me for the meal, and we went back to London and went back to our lives. And I couldn't stop thinking about this particular moment. And the next time I was at Friday Night Magic, I started telling my friends about this particular night and how embarrassed I was and how I couldn't believe the way that this chap had eaten his dinner, and it was so weird. And where did he grow up, man? Didn't he have any manners? And one of the guys that played Magic with me was a guy from England who spent a few years in China when he was younger, and he let me know something that basically changed my view on the world in many ways and opened my eyes as a young man to what this world is all about. And for those of you guys who maybe don't know, for many people that live in China, for many Chinese people, eating in this manner is a part of their culture. It's not to say that all Chinese people eat this way, but it is a part of Chinese culture that if you are invited to a meal, for example, and you are really enjoying the meal, you show your appreciation to the person who prepared this meal for you by eating as loudly as possible and showing how much you are enjoying the meal, how delicious you think it is, by making as much noise as possible. I mean, they obviously don't do it consciously, like, okay, now we're going to eat with our mouth open and make as much noise as possible. It's just a part of the way that, some Chinese cultures eat food. And actually, what the guy was doing was the complete opposite of what I thought he was doing. I thought that he was being really rude and he didn't have any manners. But actually what he was doing was thanking me for this amazing meal that I had bought him. And when I was told about this, I felt so embarrassed. I felt so ignorant, I felt so freaking small that I didn't even know this sort of thing about another culture, about somebody that I'd spent so much time with at the Magic Club, playing Magic with. And I felt so freaking guilty for just judging him for, the way that he ate, even though that was a part of his culture and that was the way that, he was brought up, I guess. And that's the way that it's done in his country. This experience opened up my eyes to how fantastic and how diverse this planet is. How amazing all of our different cultures are. How amazing it is to meet people from all over the world. People who live life and do things completely differently to yourself. And just because you think something is normal doesn't mean that that's the way that it is in the rest of the world. That there are places in the world that do things completely differently to you, and look at the things that you do as completely weird and messed up. And, you know, he was probably looking at me sitting there eating my pizza with a knife and fork thinking, what a butthole. Why is he eating pizza with his knife and fork? Why is he being so rude? Why is he not showing that he's enjoying the meal by not, by not eating loudly? It was a very, very curious experience that I had, and one that I will never forget. It's an experience that made me appreciate my life here in Europe, made me appreciate my travels, my experiences, all the people that I've met from all over the world, the different cultures, the different ways that people live, the different ways that people exist. It has really opened up my eyes to the wonderful world of humanity. And ever since then, I've always been super curious about different cultures. And, never again have I ever judged anybody for the way that they eat, the way that they dress, the way that they walk, that, is a part of their culture or a part of their country. And yeah, the most amazing thing, I guess, as I said earlier in the video, is that I saw this guy on a website, and he is now a professional Magic player. And I felt so very proud that I had shared a meal with this very fine and talented player many years ago, and I felt a little bit guilty again that I had sat there judging the way that he ate food when I myself was the ignorant one and had no idea that the way that he was eating was completely freaking normal and in fact was a compliment to me rather than anything else. Anyway, that's the story that I wanted to tell you guys today, and I hope you did enjoy it. I wonder if you guys out there have had any similar experiences when meeting people from different cultures. I would absolutely love to hear them in the comment section below. And I hope that some of you out there have also put your foot in your mouth the way that ReNDoG did in these sort of experiences so that I don't feel completely alone and feel like a complete butthole. Having acted so freaking ignorantly when I first met my good friend from Hong Kong. I'm so proud that he is a professional player now. I think that's so awesome to see that he actually achieved his dream. He did it, man. It's freaking awesome. Anyway, we've made some pretty good progress here in the tutorial section of the Hermitron game. Still a bunch of grinding for me to do, though, which I think I'll probably do on stream and off camera. So the next time we come together, guys, we will be putting together the tutorial once and for all, and hopefully that is going to be enough for the Hermits to understand how the game works, and we can start distributing some of these freaking Hermit packs and get this game up and a-running. Thank you guys so much for watching, by the way. I hope you did enjoy it, man. Remember, you hit that like button if you enjoyed it, okay? And leave me a comment down below if you've experienced any embarrassing cultural faux pas in your own life. Thanks so much for watching, guys. ReNDoG signing off, and we will see you all in the next episode.